Hi, I'm Raquel, and this is Law Librarian Plans. Today, I'm going to be setting up my budget monthly in my Keloa Plan Budget Planner. To save you a little bit of time from watching, I've already dated this particular spread. This is an undated planner. This is the 2024 version. And what I did was I used the Dated Basics Volume 4 by Keloa Plan to date the top and all of the days for the month. And what I'm going to be using to decorate this spread is going to be the Bright Retro Budget sticker book by the Happy Planner and these pip stickers from Pipsticks. The day that this particular spread will be shared on Instagram on the video is actually Vinyl Records Day. So I thought it might be fun to bring something like that in. I started with that, and then I found the Bright Retro Budget sticker book, which was a nice match to our theme. The first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to hide this particular decoration there. And that decoration is part of the whole theme of that budget planner. I'll show you very quickly. This is what the tab decoration looks like, but it doesn't go at all with our scheme. So what I pulled out, and I'll show you, I use these labels. They're full sheet labels for packages. So when I'm sending packages to my mom back home, this is what I use because it will cover anything behind it. And these can be fed through my printer. So I just have a leftover strip that I have saved, and I'm just going to take a piece big enough to cover that icon there, and hopefully smaller than the sticker that's going to go over it. Let's just double check that. It's the width of yep, that's going to be perfect actually, of a Happy Planner sticker that's going to go over that. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I use this planner. So I use the monthly to reference it in my weeklies when things are going to come due. Because then I know this is when the money should be taken out, and I know what the amount is. Sometimes I write the amount here, sometimes I don't, but I know what to expect, and then I can check my bank to make sure that that amount actually came out on the appropriate date. So that's how I use the 30, 29, 28, 29, 30, 31. Oh my God, so many different variations. The days in the monthly. So I have most of my bills on auto pay. The only things I have to worry about that I do write down here is when I'm going to pay my bills. I only pay bills that are not on auto pay on one particular day, which is at least 5 business days usually from where it's due. So it's never a problem. And the other date that I look at is when my subscribe and save is due. I'm not a huge fan of Amazon, but I have to admit that for certain staples that we use in our family, the subscribe and save program is really the least expensive option that I have. And we're on a bit of a tight budget these days. So I'm continuing to use that. And when it's no longer a necessity, I can always leave. But otherwise, I don't really buy very much from Amazon anymore. I'm trying to be a little bit less of, it has to be here and it has to be here now kind of a person. And when I do buy, I try to get things batch so that it's all coming in one delivery date. But anyway, that's an aside that you really didn't need to hear. But that's why I pay attention to that date, is to make sure that a few days ahead of that schedule, I'm reviewing the list, checking my inventory, and if I do need something, that it gets ordered. But if I don't need it, then I can just skip that particular item for the month. So last thing I want to explain is how I use the sidebar. The way that I use this sidebar is to keep track of where my accounts are at the end of the month. So the first thing I usually put here is a sticker for the account balances. And there's a perfect one in this sticker book, this page right here. If there isn't one in the sticker book that I'm going to use, then what I'll do is I'll make one out of a box sticker. As long as it's a full box sticker, it will be big enough for what I need to do. So this is sticking out a little bit. That's okay. It's not going to bother me too much. It does the trick. All right. So that's the account balances. Then I start at the top. And what I do is I put one box for savings accounts, and I have a number of different savings accounts. Most of them don't have a lot of money in them. Once at some point when things get a little bit less tight, what I'm hoping to do is to be putting automatic deposits on those accounts every month. But we're not there this year, and that's okay. I can handle that. These are really great, but there's only two that I can use for the savings accounts, and I have four savings accounts. If I can find one like this that says savings, that would be the ideal box. I could use these in my monthly, but it has these broad categories, and I don't need those broad categories there. I need the broad categories elsewhere. So let me see if I can find a plain box. Eating out, coffee run. Just double checking that there are no saving stickers, because if I can find saving stickers that look like that, then we are in business. There are also quotes here. There's really no room on the sidebar for them. So sometimes I put them in my weeklies. I just find room for them wherever. So I'm not finding the box that I need. So there's a couple things I can do. These, if these didn't have anything, this would be great. I could totally make that work, but I don't think that's going to work for me today. So let's just double check, triple check, quadruple check that we don't have what I need. All right, so we're gonna go back to these boxes, and that works. So what I'll do is, I just saw a perfect background sticker. So here's a background that has all the colors. It's a little bit bigger than I would like. So we're gonna, if you bear with me for one sec, I'm actually gonna position this on this because I don't have anything else that has that I can take the sticker off from. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of those skinny boxes that you just saw that match. And let me think how I want to do this. I want four different colors. And the reason for that is that I want for each account a different box. So this is going to be the title, and this sticker is going to get cut. So then I'm going to go in the colors of the background. So I'm going to use, let's see, maybe I'll flip it upside down. Yeah, I'm going to flip this upside down. And then I'm going to place one here. And this is for one of the savings accounts. Again, not a lot of money, but I just like to pay attention. And, you know, at some point when it starts growing again, that's going to be very satisfying to see that number change significantly from month after month, or not significantly, but whatever I can actually manage to deposit. Then the next color is yellow. So let's use yellow. Kind of funky. Not working the way I had hoped. I will tell you that much. Then green, and then there's black, but I don't want to use another black, so I'll use blue. This is definitely not working out at all the way I had envisioned it. So we're gonna scratch that idea, and we're gonna move our planner back to where it should be, and I'm just going to put the plain boxes. I'm still going to use that as the guide for the order of the colors, but other than that, it's just not going to work. So I'm going to start with our title. And I don't love the shadow, the drop shadow here, but I'm not going to place it 100% because I want to make sure I actually have enough room. I'm not even sure I have enough room for all the boxes that need to go here. So the black box for the title, then account 1, account 2. Trying to put these kind of close to each other, kind of straight. Account 3. And I'm still not loving that at all, but it's okay. And account 4. Then I need a checking account and retirement accounts. I can make this work, but I really do not love that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade that black box for one of the shiny boxes, the ones that have gold. That way I can distinguish sections from each other. So, and I'm really still not loving that. I know what I'm going to do. All right. We're going to take this off. And I'm going to start at the top row here, but I'm going to put it further down or further to the right, because what I'm going to do is I think this sticker book may have words. And if it doesn't, that's fine. I can find something else. I'm going to line these up perfectly straight, one on, sort of on top of each other. They don't need to be separated out. That will also buy me a little bit of extra room for what I need to do. Whoops, that's not even close. Let's straighten that out. This is the hard part of this, the getting boxes straight in the. I don't know why the dot grid should help, but I always find it very challenging. So let me know in the comments if you have the same challenge in your planner, because, or maybe it's because it's so far from my face that I can't really see what I'm doing. But yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna make it work. All right. So these are the savings accounts. And I have a savings account on a completely different bank. So three of these accounts are my um, emergency savings, which is very small right now, my house fund, my Christmas fund, and the fourth account is a separate bank that I have an account at that where I used to pay my student loan, and it's because I don't want to set up a new account when I'm getting close to, well, not so close, but I'm much closer to payoff than I am to actually of having many years to pay it. So it's not worth it for me to change it. Is basically what I'm trying to get at. And so because of that, I just leave it alone, and I've just left the account. And then I always transfer more money than actually is necessary. And then if I need to, I can always go to that account and get some money. That's savings money. And I don't use that account. I have no ATMs near me. So it's a very helpful kind of a thing to not have it so easily accessible. So that's that account. Um, so those are those four accounts. There are no word stickers in this that are just the word stickers. So I was completely wrong about that. I am going to stick with this black, and that will be for my checking account. And there's only one of those. That is my active checking account. And then I need stickers for my retirement accounts. And for those, I am going to use, I don't, I kind of can use the title now. Oh, well, I'm not moving this right now. You don't need to see this. It's kind of painful. I'm going to use another title box. So once again, I'm in this section here. I'm going to use a black title box, and I'm going to end up moving all of these. Basically, is where we're going to be at. So let me put this one on the side. I'm going to grab the light green, or the what color is that? Yeah, light green and the peach. Those are going to be the retirement accounts. And then, is there any color I have not used? I haven't used a plain black. I can use a plain, yeah, I can use a plain black here. And I'm going to move on from this because right now I'm just kind of mad at myself for not thinking about this sooner. And I can also could have done this way, which is start at the bottom, and then you'll know how much space you have. That sticker is so crooked, it's not even funny. Anyway, I'm going to do this. Put these two together. These are my retirement accounts. I'm very proud of those. I have tried to keep my pay at the same level for now for at least 5 years. So every time I get a raise, I will just raise my contribution, my retirement contribution. I'm still well within the limits that are allowed each year. So it's something that works really, really well for me. And so anyway, all right, so that's going to be retirement accounts. Then we're going to have one single box for checking, and then we're going to keep that one there. And I'm going to put titles on this because I'm driving myself insane trying to figure out how to make this all work the way I want it to work. And it's much easier if I just stick to my usual stuff. So we're going to make this one there. And there's plenty of room at the top for me to shift all of these down. Just leave enough room. And I am going to put the title on there. If I can find a pen. All right. This is ooh, that's too fine. I like fine pens most of the time. Every once in a while, I want a pen that's going to write a little bit darker. There we go. I have a 0.7 pen here. So I'm going to write retirement. Oh, okay, retirement. And I know what the accounts are, so I don't need to worry about putting names. Then this is going to be checking. And then the top box that we don't have yet, I'm gonna set it aside. You'll see it in the thumbnail for the video. Um, you'll see the these boxes shifted down and so forth. And then savings. I'm gonna write the word savings on one of these. I just put it on the table, and I'm gonna set it aside here, but that those are gonna move, and then that's gonna go on top. Yeah, that's so much better. All right, so now that we've done this, we're gonna get to decorating at some point, I promise. Now I'm going to put in my bills. And for the bills, I thought I'd use the icons in this book. This has some very cute icons. First of all, paydays. So my paydays are the 8th and the 22nd. And there's some dollar bill stickers here. Actually, there's some payday stickers here. So I'm going to use those. I don't always get to use payday stickers because sometimes they're obnoxiously large. And sometimes there's, a payday that happens when I have one or more bills. So I don't want to do that. Okay, payday. Here we go. So I'm going to use these rectangular kind of sort of ones. They're not too big. So on the 22nd, I do have to put a note about the subscribe and save. So that way, oops, wrong date. I will still have room to put something else in there. And I just realized I don't want that on the bottom. I want it on the top, but I'll fix that. All right. So on the 22nd, because otherwise I don't have room to put that box. Remember, I could put it. Well, no, I really couldn't. So I got to place these on the top of the box. So at the bottom of the box, there's room. Now this one could stay there because there's nothing else that goes on that date, but I like to be somewhat consistent with placement of similar things. And this is more or less in the right place. All right, so paydays are in. Then the next thing I want to do is to add stickers for bills. The first day of the month is the busiest day I have for bills. I have 4 bills that hit that day. So let's see. Sorry about that. Let's find the icons here. All right. And whoops, things are sticking to me. All right. So the first icon that I need is a house icon because that's my mortgage. And I know the amount for that. I don't have to write it down. Oh, these are round too. How funny. All right. I don't have to write that amount there. I will write the other amounts. Then I have my student loans hit on that date. And are there hats? There are hats elsewhere. Are there pretty colorful hats? Let's make sure that there are no more pages. And I'm starting to lose my patience with this. I'm sure you are too. I could also use one of those bills due stickers, but they're not as much fun. I actually like these colorful ones. So what we're gonna do is, since I am impatient and I want to move on and do this, I'm gonna remove the stickers that I need. I don't need the dollar signs. I could use the dollar signs for other things if I don't have a sticker that's appropriate. And I have done that, so I may end up doing that again. But I don't know about you, but it kind of drives me a little bit batty that these things are that like stickers are not together, right? So in this book, there's only 2 of them, so that's great. But why not put also the tiny little icons at the end of the book, like these? Because they kind of belong. They're the kind of same kind of sticker. Anyway, that's just me and my uh, being impatient. So I really, really do not like these gold icons. I could use them, and I actually have most of the icons that I need in gold. I guess I'll use them because I have no choice. But I'm doing it under protest. How about that? And I'm definitely not going to have enough room for all the bills that day. So, plan B. I'm going to plan B this. I thought I had decided, but I didn't. The spread decided for me, and the spread decided for me that I'm going to use a bills due sticker, even with oh, there's one, yay. There's one that actually does not have gold on it. So we're gonna remove this. So sorry. Go back here, and this date sticker is going to get moved. It happens. I date and redate some of these things sometimes multiple times because things like this happen. So we're going to put this one here like so. And I am going to cut this sticker. And it's going to be placed a little bit differently, but that will buy me extra space that I need. So I just cut the left side of this so that it still says the date. You know what? I have to cut more. So I'm going to cut part of it on the right too. That's okay. It's still going to say the date. It's not pretty, but it's going to work. So now this can go at the top here. I can still see the word bills due, which is not necessary. I mean, I already know. And then what I'll do is, since I don't think there's any tinier little icons in here, I'm just going to put a star. 1, 2, really bad stars. 3 and 4. And then I can write my bills there. So I can say house, easier than mortgage. House, Mohila, my student loan servicer, Patreon, and PSE, which I cannot remember. I think it's Providence Sports Entertainment. It's my season tickets for hockey. All right, so there's that. Then the next set of bills is on the 3rd, and I have 2. So one of them is a subscription, and the other one is another Patreon. So I think I'm going to use these stickers because, these are small enough. I can put multiples. So I will use the peachy color. Okay. And I'm going to use the salmon color, not salmon, the coral, the dark coral color for that, since there's not an icon that represents that well. And that those two. I probably could have fit 4 here, but that's okay. So I do have to write some amounts here. Next, we have on the 4th, we have iCloud. And that, again, you're looking at the icons here. I'm going to show you the icons that are here. None of these icons are really a really good match for, and I don't want to confuse wireless with anything else. So that's my cable, actually. So I will use a different color, and I'll use the light blue. No, the bright blue. Maybe the bright blue. All right. I cannot see that. Okay. So that's on the 4th. Then the next bill, and I'm going to write these in because I'm going to forget them. Oh, I have a subscription that's due that day. So for that, I'm going to use the other blue. Nah, not the blue. I'm going to use this green. And then I'm going to write in all those things because I will forget them. I know that for a fact. So here, I'm going to write Patreon. One of my Patreon things is off. And then this is AC-R, and that's Apple Care, and that's my Apple Care. That's my initial, R for Raquel. And then this is iCloud. I get like 3 different bills from Apple, and I always have to write them down because I can never remember which one is which. And then this is my One Magazine subscription that I have. All right. Then on the 10th, I'm going to put pay bills. And if there's a sticker that says pay bills, oh, actually the credit card one, that's a perfect one. So that's when I pay my credit card bills. Those are the only bills I don't have on auto pay. Most of the time I pay in full. Very, very rarely I don't. And that's when I need to put, an amount here. But that's very rare because I want to avoid interest. I haven't paid interest in many, many years now. All right, on the 11th, 12th, 13th, on the 13th, we have another subscription. So for that, I'm going to use this blue-green color. And I could be using boxes too, but I kind of like these. So I said that was on the 13th, and this is my husband's Sirius XM. And notice I didn't take anything off the disc this time. I did everything in the discs. Pretty impressive for me. That is his Sirius XM subscription for the car. Then 14th, 15th, we have our hockey tickets. And again, I do have icons for all these things. I just like to mix it up and use different stickers. So on the 15th, we have the second part of the, and I don't know why I didn't ask. I know it makes sense. I don't know why they split it up, but they split up our payments for our hockey tickets into two. So the majority of it bills on the 15th, but there's some small amount for an add-on thing that we did this year. So this is minor league hockey, by the way, and the tickets are quite reasonable. So for us, for a whole year, our tickets come out to like $15 or $20 a game per person, and they actually split the payment into 8 or 10 months. So it's a pretty reasonable amount for something my husband enjoys greatly. So we've been doing that for a number of years. Then the next thing is subscribe and save, which is really on the 22nd, but I'm going to pay attention to that on that date because, and I'm going to use this shopping icon because I like to look at it a couple days in advance. So, and I will not remember what that is either. So we're going to write here. And again, I'm going to take the page and keep it off just because it's a little bit easier that way. I'm just going to write subscribe and save. Then 21st, 22nd, 24th is my husband's Apple Care. I'm especially klutzy, but we're both kind of klutzy. And so we can't be without insurance for our devices. His phone is a lot older than mine too. So that's why we pay for Apple Care. And this is why I don't have much money to put in my savings at this point, but that's okay. It's all good. All right, so that's his Apple Care account. Then on the 26th, I can use some of the pretty icons here because that's my gas and electric are both due that day. So, and for those, I don't actually need to put anything because I know that it's gas and electric. That's why icons are so useful. I will probably write the amounts in here because my gas is not on a variable plan or is on no, it's not. Excuse me, it's on a I don't know what they call it, but it's basically the same amount over 12 months. So I like to pay attention to that. And then my electric, I don't know what's going to be. It's probably going to be very high because this is we've had to use the air conditioning quite a bit this month to keep it comfortable. On the 27th, it's my phone bill. That's our cell phones. And again, no sticker for cell phones. Kind of wild. All the stickers. Oh, there is. It's a gold one, which I really do not like. So I don't know why, but I'm trying to avoid the gold ones this time around. So then we're going to use another one of these. We'll use the, what color have we not used? We haven't used yellow. So let's use a yellow one. Not because the color matters, but because, keep it colorful. Then we're going to put some deco on this. That's going to be the last thing we're going to do here. So here is our T-Mobile bill. And then on the 28th is we're those horrible people. No, not horrible people. Oh, now it's the same color. Oh, well, I'll switch that out. I use the internet icon, but this is our cable plus internet. And it's outrageous. And that's one of those bills that I need to sit down and next time I do a money day, I gotta look because I am getting tired of paying them that much money for what is not really particularly great, to be quite honest with you. So we don't have a lot of channels, so that's why I don't love what I'm paying, and I gotta change that. All right, then on the that it? I think that's it. I think I got all the bills in. So this is going to be Cox. That's our internet and not telephone, cable provider. We don't have a landline. Makes me very nervous at times. That's pay bills. That doesn't need anything. But I want to be consistent here. So might as well just write it in. And that's RIE for Rhode Island Energy, Electric. And then this is going to be pay bills. All right, so now that we have done all the function that needs to be in here, let's have some fun with some of those records. Um, Vinyl records for Vinyl Record Day. We'll also put a quote in there somewhere. All right, let's put these here. And the colors are not exactly like a match, but I thought, oh, it's so much fun and why not? So let's put them. Okay, this sheet does not want to leave the packaging. All right, here we go. So we're gonna use some of these Victrola. That's what it's called. We're gonna use this pink one. Put it here, and then we're gonna put this green one, which kind of matches one of the greens that we saw here. Okay, I love these. These are so great. That was a smart move on my part to pick these up when I saw them at the store. Our bookstore, our local small indie bookstore has these. And then I'll put the orange one. I don't know about you, but that's suitcase, and in particular that particular one, it looks like a little smile, but it's really the handle. And then we're gonna take and sprinkle some records here. Because we can. And I love the fact that these are all gold too. So, or the accents are gold. So it goes with the accents in gold for this particular sticker book. I love this slice of vinyl, but I don't love the heart. So I'm going to, sorry, heart, I might use it for something else at some point, but I'm going to take that off. So, and then the vinyl record can go here. If they have more of these, I might pick up some more because I really like them. Might make a fun kind of music spread at some point. And then we'll put some more records. I'm almost out of records. I don't want to put Victrolas on every single um, box. I could, but oh, that kind of looks like a record. Kind of funny. All right, and there's another half record that's attached to the rainbow record. That one I kind of like because that's kind of a, actually kind of like that better. Uh-oh. We'll see if these will come off the Happy Planner paper. Oh no, not Happy Planner, excuse me. Keleva Plan paper. And of course they will, because the Keleva Plan paper is fabulous. It is a dream to work with. All right. I might use these somewhere else. I know I have some washi also that is um, has vinyl records on it. I'm almost certain of that, but I forgot to look for it. So since we didn't, we're not going to use it. All right. So this one fits beautifully in here. It's not a blue that's in the stickers for the bright retro budget, but, and that's the other thing, bright retro and vinyls, which are retro, couldn't resist. I could not resist. All right. I absolutely love that. I think it's a fun little touch. I almost never decorate this particular planner because it's a very functional spread for me, but I love that. All right. And I said I wanted to find a quote. So I'm going to look for some of the quotes in the back and see if there's one that is small enough that I can fit it in somewhere. Oh, these are good too. But again, that's for a single payment kind of thing. And I don't have very many of those, many days that have that. There's magic in saving. Yes, there is. Some of these are judgy, so I don't want to use the judgy ones. Um, know your worth, saving for a rainy day, kind words cost nothing. I like that. Dream big, dream often. Has nothing to, it's not really a budget thing, but let's see if there's another page of quotes. There's do not forget. That's not a need. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. That also kind of feels judgy. I don't know. I don't want to feel judged by my planner. Uh, this is a good one. Just because it's on sale doesn't mean you need to buy it. Now, I think that's a pretty good sentiment and not a bad reminder. Says the woman who just shopped on a sale, but hey, we're not perfect. All right. And I think I'm going to put this one right here. I'll scooch it over. There we go. Just because it's on sale doesn't mean you need to buy it. That's absolutely 100% true. And I try. I actually skip a lot of sales. All right, folks, I think that is all. Other than scooching down these particular boxes that are not in the right place, I think we are done. So you can see this is how I create my budget spread each month. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining me and have a great day.